Hey everyone, today I will show you how you can model this interesting product design here, because you will learn how to combine again smooth curved surfaces, right? So here you see, with just more hard surface design shapes, and here some curves again. I will show you some very fundamental techniques how to do that, because if you check here on Pinterest, you see like this product here, this product here, we often have those flat surfaces which are combined with those smooth curved connecting surfaces, right? So I don't know what about you, but I really like this kind of design language. So here you see it as well. So here we have a flat surface, and here at the top too, and it's again connected with this kind of chamfer which is curved on the side. So here you see that. Obviously you can also use that on a much more smaller detailed scale, like in this product or even something like that. And it's always the same process, and this is what I will show you here today in the tutorial. And by the way, only 3 days left in the biggest sale of the year, in my Black Week's super sale. So just 3 days left at the moment when I record this video. So if you want to learn how to model complex objects in Plasticity completely step by step, very in depth with full explanation, and you want to model more complex products like a car, helmets, motorcycle, power tools, and obviously it's not just about those specific products, it's just an example, right? But in all of my courses I always focus on the fundamental techniques, tools, and just workflows, because if you just practice them over and over, then you will be able to model anything that you want. If it's for your work, if it's just as a hobby or for a portfolio, whatever. And my goal is just to teach you the fundamentals so you can use them as you wish and just have a lot of fun. So let's dive in our tutorial. And if you like that kind of stuff, what I'm showing you here, you can leave me a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. So let's start with a new file, and I will just delete the cube, and also again link in the description from that image, and just save that on your desktop and then drag and drop that. Or you can also import a pen, select the image, and if it's in the wrong direction, then just go here to the front view and drag and drop that again into the Plasticity. Perfect. So let's first of all go into the front view, select that image, press G and just bring it here to the floor, like that, and also bring it here to the back so it's not always in the middle of our viewport. Right click and press M for the material, and click here opacity 0.3 and OK, and click here on the lock so we can use it in the background as a reference. Basically that's just kind of a boxy shape which has this interesting detail here, because from here it starts to go inwards the surface a little bit, right? So it's kind of a chamfer which has this nice flow, and also we have here a little bit of a curve, and also here at the end we have a curved surface. So if that would be the top view, right? So let's keep that in mind and start very simple by creating here on the left a corner rectangle, and just create here a rectangle. And if you press 1, you can select those points, and with G just move them and adjust them to the shape like that, and that's fine. And now you see here we have a little bit of a curve, right? So it's not an exact square, right? So we can do that very simple. So again, there are a lot of different ways how we can do that, but I just want to show you some variations always in the tutorial. So this time we will do something slightly different, which is very exciting. So use the control point curve here, the control point curve, and start here and select the first point on the square, and then just go here and snap again to the curve. Right click, so we have this curve here which is following the shape. Because now if you press 3 face mode, you can select only this piece of the rectangle, and not the full rectangle. And now you can drag that out, and if you press tab, you can go in both directions. And yeah, here I'm just eyeballing that because we just have one perspective. So I don't know, I would go with something like that here. Yeah, so we have some volume in our suitcase, whatever this is. And yeah, I think that's nice. Okay. And you see, we directly have this curve here implemented, so we don't have to cut anything. And yeah, it's just saving up a few steps. Okay, so press 2, edge mode, Alt, click here to the curves, all are selected, press H. So, and now what we want to do is, because we see we have here a curved surface just on the left. So very simple, it's kind of just a full fillet. And for that, you can just press 2, edge mode, and select this, shift click this edge. And now you drag that out, so you have a fillet, and just click here on full. And this way you have a perfect fillet. And this is exactly what we want. Right click, and perfect. So now if we go to the front view, we don't see the image in the front, right? So to do that, select here this reference image and press M again and click here on the front. So usually I do it in the beginning, I forgot it. So just click on the front because now we can see through, right? So this is what we want, because now we want to create this really nice curve shape here. And I really like this kind of angles. It's like very hard surface, like very modern design, which is like used to in like a lot of those modern products, you know, like, and also like in mechs and robots, like Vitaly Bulgarov and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so we will do this by just creating a curve. So we will create a line, and I will just snap out of the product here and just roughly create the shape. But very important, don't snap to this corner point, because if you see the reference image, we have here a little bit of a chamfer of a distance. So we have to cut a little bit before that. So something like that. Right click, and what I like now is I will just select this curve with G, just bring it to the front, and select again the front view here. So now with points mode, if you press 1, we can just adjust the points a little bit to get the shape that we need. And I will just select this, so this looks good. And now we need some fillets, so just one by one I will select this fillet point, press B for fillet, and just drag that and give it here a nice juicy fillet. The same here, B, like that. Perfect. And now we can just use that to cut into our body. So press C, so you can also imprint that, but you can also cut that, so it doesn't really matter. So I just cut it right now into our surface or in our object, and this way we have something like that. Press 2, select this curve H to hide it. And now we have to create, so we have to cut here from this boxy shape a little bit away, so we can then in a second create the chamfer. So this has to go a little bit more inward, so the distance here has to be smaller than what we have here. And before we do that, let's create some fillets. So just select this edge here at the top and go to the front view and just adjust it like that. And the same at the bottom, which is a bit smaller. So again, select this edge, go to the front view and just drag that and give it here a nice cute little fillet. And perfect. And now also what makes our life easy is that you see here we have a little bit of a distance. So we have to cut here a little bit out, and the same at the bottom. So that just means we have to offset this face. So press 3, select this face, shift, 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 and shift. And we just have to offset this a little bit and then remove like those surfaces that we don't need. So while those guys are selected, if you press O, you can offset, but now you see it's offsetting the individual faces, but we want just treat it as one surface. So here at the bottom right, you see I individual. So if you press I, you can switch between those. And we just want to offset this a little bit. So I will just eyeball it because technique is the same. So something like that, right click, and you have something like that. And now what we want to do is we just want to remove everything what we don't need. So you can press Alt Shift click and it will select this whole loop here. And you can Shift X delete that. And here it's unfortunately not working. So we just have to, with Shift click one by one in face mode obviously, just select all of those sheets and also again Shift X to delete them. And then we have here some extra surfaces because we cut before into a solid object. So you can just select here this sheet, press X to delete it. And then we have still the solid object. So again, press 3 and select those faces here as well and Shift X again. So we just are left with surfaces. And now we can do some surface modeling. That's the technique. That's why it's called surface modeling if you don't know it, because you see we just have surfaces and from this is our starting point and now we will start to close everything up. Perfect. So now it's very simple. So let me hide this reference image. And again, because here in this example, it's again symmetric. So in the front, it's the same as back. So as always, I want to first cut it in half. So I just go to the left or right view, create here a line and just snap it in the middle like that. Right click and press C, cut into the first surface, right click, just click out in the viewport and go to object mode and select again only this piece. And again, select, press 2, select the curve, press C, cut here, right click and press tab and select this and this. So we just are left with one half. So now it's very, very, very simple, kind of. So we have to again create here a curve and here a curve. And here it will be a little bit tricky. So I will show you first how to just close it if you're a very beginner. And just to keep it simple, we will create here a curve and I don't know, somewhere here and the same here somewhere at the bottom and like that, right? So we will just create some curves and then we will just fill in the big surfaces first. So we will create here a loft and then we will create here a loft and then we will create here a loft. And once we have those straight flat surfaces, we will like fill them up with those rounded surfaces, right? So everything step by step as always. And yeah, so you see you can't, if you press 2, you can't just select this edge, or in this case here you can do it. So let's just do it. So select this edge and this edge, press L for loft, tap, just G0, so it's just straight. But you see it's already stretching a little bit, but let's just keep it. I want to show you something later. So right click. Now let's go to this one, but this one will not work out. You see, because this edge is like short, but this edge is like way, way longer. So if you press L and tap, you see it's still working, but we start here, you see, have like a stretching and like the surface starts to bend. We don't want that. So press escape and we just want to shorten up this edge. So for that you can press 3, select this face of the edge. And now, so if this face is selected, you can use press F and search for isoparam. I have it on Control R, I always use it. So isoparam, just different word for add an edge. So yeah, isoparam. And you remember that here is the edge and here it ends. So we want somewhere here to create the line. So something like that. Because now again, if you press 2 and if you select this edge and this edge, now you see they are much more same size. Press L, tap, and you see now the surface is also, it's still not perfect, but just to keep it here simple, because it's a beginner surface modeling tutorial, this will be absolutely fine. And now the same here. again, you don't want to loft the curved surfaces. We want to start with the long one first. Always go from big to small. So again, here, 2 edges, one is short, one is long. We want to cut it here in half, so press 3, select this face, press F, isoparam, like that. And yeah, cut it somewhere here. Press 2 and select those 2 edges, press L, tap, tap, G0. Perfect. So this looks fine. Now we can close those guys here, press 2, select those edges, L, tap, tap, shift click. Always add the neighboring like edge and surface, so it's just 100% connected. The same here at the top, press 2, select this, loft, tap, tap, shift click. And you see, this looks already, yeah, very, very nice. And now, if you press tab, you see all of the surfaces are individual. We don't want that for our patch. So just select everything and press J, so you just have one surface. And now if you press 2 and Alt, click, you can select this whole loop. And now you can use Xnerb or patch. So I will just use patch here so everyone can follow along. So press F, patch, like that. And here G1 and here G1. And you see this looks okay for now. But if we go to this angle, you see that our surface, so I will just confirm it, my surface here, by the way, this program is called Epic Pen because people ask that always, all the time. So you see this surface is a little bit rounded, but it should be something like that, right? And I mean, if you're a beginner, that's fine. And I mean, it still looks okay, but still you see we have a little bit, I don't know, it's just curved, you know? So what we can do is, let me come back to that in a second. So let's first close this guy here. So also press 2 and select this whole loop and again patch it. And select here G1 and here G1. And just look how it looks. And we basically have the same situation. So here you see it's like very, very curved. So you see this does not really work. So again, there are like thousands of different techniques and you can spend so much time to do it perfect also with square, but it's like way too advanced. Like if you will render that later with the material, you will anyway not really see that. But let's select those faces, Shift X, delete them. And focus on this one first. So I want to cut here a piece away. So I want to delete this. So we just have a little bit of a, yeah, little bit of a better control of how our patch will work. Because you see this blue shape just looks a little bit cleaner once you have a little bit more of experience than if you would have this shape here, because you have too much angle with this yellow shape here. So what we have now. So what you can do is create a line and just snap here where the fillet ends and just drag it straight up, right click, and now press F and search for imprint and imprint onto your surface, right click and press 3, face mode, select this face, Shift X. Delete this curve, you see, so you have this hole. And again, you can just try to patch it. And with G1 and G1. And you see this looks already better, but we still have this massive curve and now it's even stronger. And a very simple like beginner way to do that is, so go delete this face and we have to add here 2 guiding lines. So again, here we have this fillet, right? So we have to add here a line and here a line, which will be straight. And then we will again patch it and squeeze them to our guiding lines or curves, which is very simple. So let's do that by creating a line, snap it here and snap it somewhere here. And again, Shift A, create a new line, snap a line somewhere here, right? So it's just very experimental right now. But now if you press 2 and again Alt click, you select this, first click it out. So again, select only this loop without those curves and patch it again. And now Shift click and Shift click this curves and it breaks because you have to give here G1 and here G1 and it does not work. Why not? Let me check. Maybe we have to break the surface here because you see it's still just one edge, but it's connected with two curves. So we have to break this edge exactly where they are connected, right? So again, very simple, press 3, select this face, search for isoparam and just snap it here. And same here, select this face again, press F, isoparam, like that, snap it here, press 2. So click in the viewport, press 2, Alt click, again patch, Shift, G1 and G1, right click, let's hide our curves and voila, you see, very nice surface. I know, still not perfect, but for 99% of the use case, that's more than enough. And, oh yeah, perfect, I really like that. Leave me a like for that, if you like that. And the same here at the bottom. So again, you can try around, cut the surface in smaller pieces and all that kind of stuff. But what we want to do is here, just again, create a line, snap it here, go to this point, and let's maybe create another line, Shift A, and just here in the middle maybe. So it's kind of, you know, here when we will create the surface, we just create in between those straight lines, and then when we patch it and then click Shift onto the curves, it's adjusting the shape of the patch to those curves. And because our curves are straight, the surface will be straight, right? So also here you see now, bam, it's perfectly exactly straight. And again, don't forget to add, so break this edge here. Again, isoparam, so just put it on Shift or Control R or whatever. So you just select this face, Control R, bam, isoparam, you can add a line, bam, you select this face, Control R, isoparam, you can snap it, and if you press 2, Alt click, patch it, you see here, the face that is created from the patch is very much not straight, but if you press Shift click, bam, it instantly snaps to this curve, and bam, snaps to this curve. And again, I did a little mistake because I'm recording, excuse me. So select 3, face, and obviously we need here an edge 2. So isoparam, just break that. And now it will work. Press 2, Alt click, patch it, Shift, bam, G1, right click. Let's hide our guys here. And voila, look guys, isn't that nice? I really like that. And yeah, so before we finish our model, again, just want to remind you, 3 days left, biggest sale of the year. If you enjoy my teaching style and the techniques and workflows that no one shows you on YouTube in such a simple way, and you want to learn more about that, check out my courses, car modeling, product modeling. If you're a beginner, here, sci-fi concept design pack, some simple products, or if you want to save some money and get more, I have also bundles, or the everything bundle where all of the courses are included, which is also at this time 75% off. And first link in the description as always. And now we want just add here some cuts. Right, so again, obviously you can add now all of the details, the rollies here and this other stuff if you like, and add all of the stuff, but I just want to show it to you with one example. So select object mode, select the surface, Alt X for mirror command, and bring it to the other side, right click, join that, make sure you have a solid. If not, if it shows you a sheet, press F and search for find. and search for find boundary edges, because then it will show you where you have some holes, and then you can just close them with a patch. But now go to the front view and activate our curves again. So Alt H, and you remember we saved up this curve, so we can just press C, cut into the surface, right click, let's hide all of our curves again. And also one more tip, you see we have here some extra geometry, so select this piece and press F and delete redundant topology just to clean it up. And now last step, press 2 edge mode, select those 2 edges and give them a nice little fillet or chamfer as you wish, and you have a very nice surface modeling practice. Leave me a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Check out first link in the description for my courses, and see you on the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.